Okay, welcome to your weekly reading. Today is Sunday, November 11th, 11/1/2020. It's a 7 number code for us. 7 being the opening of the crown chakra. Let's see what the Oracle wants to share with us today. We're coming off of the full moon in Taurus, if you're following the tropical zodiac. And that full moon was in 3-minute conjunction with Uranus. So likely you have received some quick and sudden communication, insight that is catalyzing your path in some way. So our oracle is whale and orca elders. I love that. It's soothing, it's cooling, it's calm, it's in the flow, it is motion, it is action, it's these deep currents of inner wisdom and inner knowing that we are being oriented into. It says share your song, frequency of sound, deep diving. So it's time to shine, to share your voice, to be free to be you, and to share those unique sound tones and those unique words and ways that you express yourself. It's time to celebrate. Celebrate you. So let us see what the cards have to say. 10 of Cups. Wow, the fulfillment of your wish, the fulfillment of your dream. Truly, you are communicating with your soul now. Your soul is awake. Goodness, I'm seeing so many cards here. Amazing. Your soul is integrated. You're, on board with the deep waters of your conscious awareness, the deep subconscious, subterranean waters. And that's a very empowering thing, to know the deep you, not just the surface you, the surface chatter, the entertainment thinking, the drama thinking. It's like, no, there is a deeper understanding on like kind of a purposeful, energetic to your dream is going to a deeper level. It's you're out of those, the surface comforts pacifying you. It's like, no, that's not going to do it anymore. Like that taste of sugar and that little bit of candy is really not going to give me, that deep satisfaction for that craving that you have of yourself. Okay, so the 3 of Swords just popped out. So that alignment is coming because something has shifted within. There's something acknowledged, like some sort of heartbreak that's like over. It's almost like this 3 of Swords, it's been building, and now it's just kind of cracked. The heart has cracked open, and there's no more like avoiding that scenario within you. It's just like, yeah, I am, I don't know, I am wounded, there's a wounding here. And it's acknowledging that something hasn't been right, inside of yourself in regards to XYZ scenario, right? And so there's that 3 is acknowledging that and moving that energy. It's not undecided anymore. There is a change in direction, a change into the direction the way your consciousness is moving. So we have 2 3s here, a 10 and 2 3s. The star is at the bottom of the deck, so it is, and the lovers is at the top. So everything's happening in perfect timing. Everything that you are going through and that the world is going through is happening because it's time for it to happen. We don't need to like struggle with these dynamics in our consciousness anymore. This whale and orca, that's a deep, wise, planetary energy. We don't need to struggle with these changes and the timing for all of these changes. They're like perfectly placed. It now is the time for all of this to be happening. It might feel like the world's falling apart, or your life is falling apart, or you yourself, your identity's falling apart. But it's perfect timing for all of this to happen, okay? This 10 of Cups, it's all happening for you to get in tune with that deep wave dream. And you might be going through something, some sort of shattering, of the illusion of something that you've been holding on to, that you've been trying to control and maintain. And likely it's something within you, you've been avoiding some sort of heartbreak, and it's like, let it break. We're a lot more resilient than what we can imagine. Let the fragility, let the ego break apart. It's okay. It's necessary. And in that opening, in that release, the Wheel of Fortune starts spinning. Your life is spinning you in new directions and new trajectories that are so deeply oriented to your inner truth. And from that place, you're setting new intentions. You're projecting in a new, empowered way. You are taking action on that vision, on that dream. I want to clarify this 3 of Swords. So we have 2 3s, which is, 2 tetrahedrons, two trinities. So it looks like there's a divinely ordained connection here. The connection of the Empress and the King of Crystals with the Hierophant as kind of the overseer of this connection. There's a heartbreak of like an old dream, It's like not just about, it's about your operating system and the way that you have functioned in a certain way inside a certain container that you have built for yourself, a certain level of your identity. And that's the way you've been interfacing with the world. And that container is breaking open. It's breaking apart. It's breaking down in order for like this Empress to have her reign, to have her open, expansive heart space to shine. And that King of Crystals is kind of that fixed earth energy. And he's staring at the Empress. He's holding the space for her to rise. And this Hierophant is like the master of ceremonies, like ordaining this relationship as like it's reaching a new level because of this heartbreak, because of a, like, breaking apart of the illusion. You've got two very strong people here. Very strong energies. And are not in competition of one another at all. They both are very strong and very powerful in their expressions of who they are. And this Hierophant is almost like, master this, you know? Change the story of heartbreak. Like, what is this story of heartbreak? What is this love tragedy, you know, that we set ourselves up for? We almost program it to fail, you know? And when actually, in and of, you know, all the parts of the story, it's a complete energy in and of itself. It's like, but bring those parts together and it's dysfunctional because of the way that things are programmed to relate. There's almost like a dysfunction virus inside of the way we're programmed to relate. This Hierophant is, you know, asking you to go deeper with yourself. Wow. On this new trajectory, let's clarify the Three of Wands too. Because what is this new trajectory? You know, everybody's story with this is going to be very different. If you want to go into your personal story, book a private reading. But these threes are action, these threes are movement. That was a very powerful clarifier of the Three of Swords. And now I want a clarifier for the Three of Wands. So we have the Ace of Swords. The Page of Swords was kind of popping out there too, but I'll translate it as this Ace. The Ace of Swords is the sword of truth, the sword of insight, the sword of divine inspiration, the sword of clarity, the sword of knowing, the sword of like the brightness of your higher mind just streaming through. So this Three of Wands is clarified with, like, it knows what it wants. That Three of Wands, like, knows what it's projecting now. Like, the thoughts are coming in so crystal clear. There's no doubt where that Three of Wands is going, what it needs to do, how it needs to project, the clear path ahead, even though you might not know what exactly fills the path in, you can like see it clear. So this week is going to bring a clarity of like something's going to break open. You're going to be very aligned with your wish, heart and soul, dream, desire, so connected to your inner intuitive, expansive soul knowing. And there's going to be some sort of heartbreaking open. But that heartbreaking open is going to liberate this masculine and feminine energy. It's very strong, steady, empowered, sovereign energy. Okay? So that heartbreak open is going to like free those two energies up. And there's going to be like a mastery level of understanding the connection of this relationship, whether this is a work partnership, whether this is, you know, a intimate relationship, whether this is, you know, there's so many different levels of relationship, right? But these are two very high level people. So it's not like mother-child, you know, these are two equivalent energies. And they're not in competition of one another. No, they're liberating to have their sovereign space to be their magnificent selves. And there's a mastery level of wisdom that will emanate from that heartbreaking open energy. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, so the wheel starts spinning in a new direction, and there's going to be insight, there's going to be clarity on that path forward. You don't necessarily know what it is yet. I mean, you'll self-discover it through this process. Perspective. So it's going to be higher guided. It's going to come through a higher energy. This is the Judgment card. Perspective. It's going to come through a higher dimensional level. It's very interesting because, you know, I could read this as an election reading too, as the U.S. elections. I'll do an election reading as well, because that Empress and the King of Crystals could be, yeah, that could be the Biden-Harris ticket right there. Kind of this heartbreak, the Biden-Harris, and then the Hierophant being kind of the officiate. The Wheel for, well, yeah, I could read that a lot of different ways. So, very interesting. Very interesting. So there's a higher, you know, if we read this personally though, because, you know, it's personal, it's collective, there is going to be like a higher guidance coming through. Pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your, you know, insights and intuitions and divine thoughts that stream through. It's going to be a powerful week, okay? So, breathe through it. And my friend is doing this Movember. Instead of November, it's Movember. It's like move your body every day, exercise every day, keep the engine going. I'm doing this 21-day accelerator program. It's like we're meditating every day and we're working the engine, you know, we're keeping the momentum going. Stay fresh, stay clean, stay energized, because there's change. You know, there's change on the ticket. So much love to you all, as always. If you want a private reading, please reach out to me. My email will be listed below. Take good care.